Welcome to Lingua Wire English B1. Today, we have two stories, a new Medicare drug program for obesity and a new treatment for pancreatic cancer. To help you follow today's episode, full transcripts and vocabulary lookups are available at linguawire.com. Medicare's obesity drug program is getting a lot of attention. Now we go to Jack, our Lingua Wire correspondent for health.
Thanks, Daniel. Yes, this is moving faster than many people expected. A temporary Medicare program that began on July 1st lets some eligible people get obesity drugs for $50 a month.
And the numbers are already large, right?
Very large. CVS says it has already filled more than 100,000 prescriptions under the program. Walgreens says it has filled around 100,000 too. That matters because this was designed as a pilot, not a full permanent benefit.
So this is not just a small test in one place. It is reaching a lot of pharmacies and a lot of patients.
Exactly. The program's called the Bridge Program, and it runs through the end of 2027. It was created as a workaround because Medicare is not normally allowed to pay for weight loss drugs.
That explains why the administration had to find a special route instead of just changing the rule.
Yes, and there are conditions Medicare will cover the drug only if a person meets certain health limits. One example is obesity with hard-to-control high blood pressure. People are not eligible if they have sleep apnea or type 2 diabetes. That is because Medicare Part D is supposed to already cover GLP-1 drugs for those cases.
So the line is not anyone with obesity. It is much narrower than that.
That is right, and that narrowness is part of the story. The government is trying to help more people. It is also trying to control cost. It wants to keep the program limited.
What are pharmacies saying about demand?
Walgreens says it expected interest. It saw a little more uptake than it expected. The chain says it stocked extra Wegovy, Zepbound, and Foundayo before launch. It did not run into supply problems.
That sounds like a practical challenge as much as a medical one.
It is. Around half of the patients Walgreens has served through the Bridge program had never taken GLP-1 drugs before. Pharmacists say that is where they can help. This matters especially when side effects like nausea and diarrhea appear at the start.
So the first weeks matter a lot if people are going to stay on the treatment.
They do. CVS also says it has options for people who are not eligible. Those include discount cards, coupons, and vouchers to help lower out-of-pocket costs. So the bigger picture is not just access. It is also how the health system decides who gets help. It is about how much it costs, and it is about whether the treatment pays off over time.
That is a useful way to frame it. It is medicine, but also policy and money. A new drug for pancreatic cancer has just been approved. Now we go to Mia, our Lingua Wire correspondent for health.
Thanks, Daniel. This is a major moment for a very difficult cancer. The US Food and Drug Administration has approved daraxonrasib, sold as Razonque, for pancreatic cancer.
And the trial results sound striking.
They are. In a late-stage trial with 500 patients, people who took the daily pill lived an average of 13.2 months. That compares with 6.6 months for people who got chemotherapy.
So the survival time was nearly doubled. That is a big jump.
Yes, and experts have called the drug a possible game changer. The FDA called it a critical new option for patients facing a cancer that has been very hard to treat.
What makes this cancer so hard?
Pancreatic cancer is often found late. It has the highest death rate of all major cancers. Each year, roughly 67,000 people in the US are diagnosed with it.
That helps explain why this approval matters beyond one study.
It does. More than half of people with pancreatic cancer die within 3 months of diagnosis. So even modest gains can matter a great deal. And this gain is not modest.
How does the drug work?
It locks onto a mutated KRAS gene and switches it off. That helps stop cancer growth. That gene is found in more than 90% of pancreatic tumors.
So this is aimed at a very common feature of the disease, not a rare one.
Exactly, and that is part of why doctors are paying attention. The FDA had already given it a breakthrough therapy label last year. Now it approved the drug 6 months ahead of schedule.
Were there trade-offs in the trial?
Yes, the most common side effects were rash, diarrhea, nausea, fatigue, and vomiting. Severe side effects happened in 44% of patients on daraxonrasib. That compares with 57.5% on chemotherapy.
So it is not a simple miracle, but it does look like a real step forward.
That is the right way to see it. It gives patients and doctors another option in a disease that has had very few good ones.
First, 3 words from story 1. 1. Program. A planned set of actions or services. In the story, the Bridge program helped some people get obesity drugs. Example: the program starts next week in 3 cities. 2. Eligible. Allowed to receive or join something. In the story, some people were eligible for the lower price. Example: only eligible patients can sign up today. 3. Uptake. The amount of people who start using a service or product. In the story, the pharmacies said uptake was strong, with many prescriptions already filled. Example: the new app saw quick uptake after launch. Now for 1 grammar point, be allowed to. We use be allowed to when we talk about permission or rules. Example 1. Medicare is allowed to cover the drug in this program. Example 2. People are not allowed to join if they do not meet the conditions. Repeat after me. Be allowed to. New this month, the LinguaWire Field Guide. For every news theme, it gives you the 50 key words to know, the most important verbs and conjugations that cover 90% of the full month's news podcast episodes, and lesson sheets on the fundamentals, how sentences are built, how the articles work, with flashcard practice to test yourself on all of it. Find it at linguawire.com guide.